Joe Leigh here for SecondsOut. Delighted to be joined by McCrory in London. How are you?
I'm very good, thanks. Well, I've got a bit of a cold, which is awful to have, but all the kids are getting cold, and so I've got a little bit of a cold. But no, spirits are good. Feeling good.
Understand you're in Newcastle as well. Busy man at the moment.
Yeah, Newcastle. Yeah. Well, the city's lit up a bit, but we've got a long way to go, and but I'm hoping it's going to be exciting times for the city. The fans are the best football fans in the country, and we've always played down the field and always fighting for relegation, and for having such great fans, we deserve better than that. And I think please God, we'll get better than that.
Now we're here tonight, of course, for Hannah Rankin's fight against Maria Lindbergh for the world titles, WBA, IBO, World Super Welterweight female belts. It was a close fight, but Hannah Rankin with the win in the end. How did you score that? Obviously on commentary.
I scored it very, very close. I thought I was giving it on the last round for Rankin because I thought it was nip and tuck all the way through. My comment was, it's really just how you see it. It's really just what you thought of the fight. Rankin was landing with some clean punches, but Lindebergh was constantly getting in short punches, and I thought the scorecards were a bit wide, but it really depended what the judges were looking for, and they seemed to all agree with the others.
And overall, on the boxing tonight, how much did you enjoy being ringside again for a Fightzone show?
It's brilliant, and to be in this sort of environment. I was here a few weeks ago for AJ, and that was obviously a disappointment. But what a fantastic setting. I mean, to have sport in settings like this. I've been to the Dallas Cowboys stadiums and Madison Square Garden and Las Vegas, the MGMs, and all of a sudden when you're putting big fights on in spectacular stadiums, and also I've been to football here as well. And to then have a world title fight on Fightzone, indoors in one of their suites. It's great. So it's just a wonderful place, and they've done it really, really well. But what a promoter! Where did that come from? What a promoter! What a promotion! Fightzone. It's great to be with Fightzone because I love what they're doing. They're giving fighters the chance. They're giving fighters the chance. We're seeing some great kids coming through, and Hannah Rankin's getting herself a world title in Fightzone in a very short period. I've had British title fights, combo title fights, area title fights, European title fights, and now world title fights. So, really getting established in such a short time, and that's great. I was there at the very beginning of Sky. It's nice to be at the very beginning of Fightzone, and I see it having equally as successful and a long running term, and I just want to be sitting ringside in world title fights because that's what I love.
Who do you think stole the show tonight?
For me, I think Michael Gomez Jr. Promised that sort of performance and delivered the performance. Ahmed, was always going to give him a tough fight. He's a good competitor, and hung in there, dearly wanted the win, and either one at a point you thought if some could start weakening, but Gomez, mentally, he wants to get in there in big fights, and you can tell that. And it's difficult now. It's difficult because we're only just getting back into the run of things. It's like, who's the British champion? Who's because we've been out of it for so long. So it's just about getting consistency and getting fights. Not getting cold, getting fights happening, and I know how hard it is for the likes of Dennis and Steve Crump, to put shows on a regular basis because fighters are still having to isolate. That's it's still with us. The COVID situation hasn't gone away, and also, there's lots of boxing has always been a tough promotion. It's always been very tough to put things together, and you've got to. It's hard to get crowds in. There's so much entertainment for so many different things that people want to spend money on. To get them in for live boxing is difficult. So, I'm going to say hats off to Dennis Hobson and Steve Crump, and good to see Fightzone got a world champion.
And it's also good to see tomorrow night we're going to see the undisputed status, man be crowned at 168 pounds.
Yeah, we are. And I mean, Canelo's taken over the mantle of Mayweather, and you've got to say, I've been disappointed with some of the things. Obviously, the drugs, when he's failed drug tests, and that always puts a really nasty mark on boxing, because you want it to be fair. It's a sport, but he seems to have come through that. What I commend about him is he's always in fantastic shape. He lives the life, and I think that's a lesson to fighters. That's a lesson to young kids coming through. And then, in any sport, in any occupation, you have to live the life. You have to work as hard as you possibly can to have any success, and you will reap the rewards. And Canelo is reaping the rewards. And with Plant, he's got a tough fight. But I just think, he's so on top now. He's so confident now. I think he's gonna be very, very hard to beat. It's Canelo time, and we go through these, whether it's De La Hoya or Chavez, or we go through these times, and it's very much Canelo time. And I expect him to win and look great doing it.
What does he do after, if he's undisputed at super middleweight? There's challenges there. There are always going to be challenges, no matter what division. I don't know how tough the challenges are. Obviously, that's each to their own. But I think the most likely thing is he'll go to light heavyweight.
Do you know, I mean, light heavyweight's a tough ask, because he's not a light heavyweight. And, the greats, they've got to find challenges somewhere. So that's a possibility. But like all fighters, they've got to, Plant's a good fighter, and he wants to win. And it's a massive victory if he wins. So he'll be doing his best. So my prediction is a really good fight.
Well, I look forward to it. One more thing I want to talk to you about, just on the British boxing scene: Dillian Whyte, Tyson Fury. Who knows if that fight's going to happen with the way boxing is? But
anything to talk about on the British heavyweight scene? Has it not all been sewn up? I think all questions have been asked, and all questions have been answered. And there's not really anything to say on the British heavyweight scene. There's nothing to say on the heavyweight scene. Tyson Fury is by far the best fighter in the world, and it's his time, and that's it. So there's no more questions from that. Now I'm going to have to go and get back to Newcastle, because I'm a long way off.
Well, you answered the question anyway, so it works. Thanks again for your time, and hopefully we can speak again soon. Thanks for your time.